Hi everybody, my name is Alyssa and I'm the head of marketing over here at Headliner, and today I'm going to be walking you through all the ways that you can create and style branded assets for your podcast using Headliner. So the first things first is you'll want to start creating what we like to call a brand kit over here. So to do that, all you'll need to do is first log into your Headliner account by visiting make.headliner.app and then going to your actual account settings. So you can see it up here in the upper right-hand corner. Go ahead and click that, a little icon person thing, and then I'll go ahead and click account settings. And from here, you'll navigate on over to fonts on the left-hand side. And then this is where you can start adding in those custom fonts to really truly create super branded assets. So if you have the file, awesome. All you'll need to do is click add font. However, if you don't, no worries. You will be able to go ahead and search the fonts that we have already in-app or on Google. So I will go ahead and add Headliner secondary font, which would be the Roboto condensed. So go ahead and add that. Now you can see that we have both of our brand fonts here on my Headliner account. Now I'm just going to navigate back to the actual creation screen so we can use those fonts to create some assets. So I'm going to go ahead and create an automation for, let's say, Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and search for our podcast. There it is, Headliner Discovery and Marketing. Next, and then select the platform that I want to upload onto. So I'll go and do an Instagram post. And then from here, I want to make my job even easier. So I'm going to go ahead and click this little let Eddy's AI go ahead and create my clips for me. So not only will this give me one clip, but it'll actually give me 10 that I can thumb through and choose. And I can kind of tailor them, add captions, whatever I would like after the video has initially processed. So from here, I can go ahead and see, we obviously have a lot of templates that you can select from. And if you've already had some templates made that you just want to kind of edit, tailor up a little bit, you can go ahead and create your saved only. But what I want to do is go ahead and create a new one from scratch and brand it to my little heart's desire for Headliner. So I click that little plus sign. And then from here, you can see this is kind of just the default mode that Headliner likes to do. So from here, I'm going ahead and make some of those edits. So first, I want to shrink down our episode art. So I'll go ahead and click that. And then, there we go, shrink it down a little bit. And then I do want it to be kind of the center of what we're doing. So it's going to be kind of my automation. However, I want to also go ahead and change out the waveform. So maybe the circle one could be cool. Let me just move my face so I can see what I'm clicking here. Go ahead and make that the background. And I kind of like that. It's different. It's neat. Go ahead, move my face again so I can click things. And then I want to change out the background. And this is a brand new thing that Headliner just added in. So you've always been able to drop in your hex codes manually. However, we added this little color picker so you can do it even easier. So if you have like a picture like side by side, especially if you have like a website or something and you want to pull in those colors, you can totally do that like with an off-screen selection. So you can see that I'm doing a poor example up here with kind of the browser tab, that purple, which is pretty close to Headliner, but not exact. But I want to go ahead and kind of have it in this like middle gradient purple. I think it's cool. I think it's pretty. So I'll go ahead and click that, and then that changed my entire background out. And then I want to also go ahead and add in a progress bar and want to make sure that it is going to be the same color as the Headliner blue. I'm pretty sure it is, but you know, safety, there we go, definitely is. Awesome. And I want to also go ahead and pull in some text. So we'll do listen now. Why don't we do that? So I'll go ahead, listen now, little exclamation point, and then want to go ahead and use some of my fonts that I have. So I'll go ahead, select it, and then in the event you forgot to upload your font, no worries, you can do it from here. It'll just kick you on over to that original navigation, and then you'll have to click back into the project. However, if you've already added them, you'll just need to scroll all the way up to the top, and then you can see this little My Font section. And this is Headliner kind of recognizing that these are the fonts that you've assigned to most of your projects. And then if you are like an agency or somebody that's using Headliner for across multiple accounts, you'll still be able to see them. You can add a bunch of fonts into your actual My Font section. You just might have to kind of remember them. So see recently used, that will be right under the My Fonts. So you can also navigate from there as well. But I want to make this our secondary one because I already have the Headliner podcast written in our primary font. And then I also want to get a little bit creative with how it looks. It's fine, but it's a little bland. So I just want to kind of make it a little bit prettier. So first and foremost, I want to add in, let's say, some highlights. So again, you can drop in the hex code if you want, or you can kind of manually slide it from here. We'll say I want to do that. Then same thing with the color. I want to sample it. I already have that purple kind of selected, but let's say I want a little bit of a funkier blue. I don't know, that looks kind of cool. Add in some shadow as well, so it's a lot easier to read, just because that is pretty difficult to read if a user is just looking at it. Try and turn up the contrast a little bit just to improve that readability. But saying that, I'm actually going to take away that highlight because I don't really like it. And all caps this. Listen now! Exclamation point. Awesome! And then also go ahead, move it on over and increase the font. Should already be bold. Yep, it's already bold. And then if I wanted, I could add in a little emoji. Cool sunglasses. We're cool. Our podcast is cool. That tracks for me. Okay. And that is what I'm going to do. You can also explore if you want to. And we have a couple of different preset options up here for you as well that you can kind of pick and choose from. They're very similar to if you have Instagram. They're very similar to the default settings for Instagram stories and reels as well. So I'll go ahead and add that to my video. And I'll go ahead and drag that down a little bit. Just make it pop. And then I could also go ahead and add in with the automations. Headliner will automatically recognize if you have either the podcast or the episode. It can automatically go ahead and pull that in. I do think that's going to be a little bit busy for this one. It's kind of already a lot to look at from here, so I'm not going to add it, but theoretically I could go ahead and toggle the episode and the podcast if I would want to do that. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. Click escape. And then one final thing you can do is add in a watermark. And hopefully I have the watermark on my computer. Let's see. Water. Haha, I do. Neat. Okay. Go ahead and add that. And then we just have a little bit of branding. And again, this image is going to be replaced by our episode art, which is actually generated by Eddy's AI. So this is going to just be a very simple automation that I will be able to pull and use for our Instagrams. I'm going to move my head back down here because now we're done styling it for the moment at least. But I think this looks pretty good. I'm going to definitely be using this for some posts in the future. And now let's just go ahead and preview our automation to make sure everything looks okay for right now. And looks good to me. You can definitely see that waveform moving. If I wanted, I could go back and adjust the colors and everything so to really make sure that my text and my background are separated out even more so. But I'm just going to go ahead and say it looks good for now. Click looks good. Awesome. So now my automation is processing, and whenever it's ready, I'm going to get a nice little email that, hey, it's ready. And then I can go ahead and directly post it. I will go ahead and show how I would go about doing that. Go ahead and navigate to that little share page. And then from here, you can actually directly post into Instagram or whatever platform you would want to. So again, this is a past example, or I could go ahead and select another clip if I wanted to pick a different clip. I say I didn't really like that one. I want to thumb through and just see all my options. I mean, you have 10 after all. We already did the work, so you might as well kind of check it out and, see if you like any more that are any different out there. But yeah, I like that clip. And then just share again. And then from here, again, I would be able to go ahead and directly upload it. I just have to click in. It'll ask me to log in, do all those things. I won't make you suffer through that. But yeah. So anyways, that is how you would go about creating very stylized branded assets using our audiogram tool, make.headliner. You could take it a step further and you could 100% upload those assets into Eddy, which is going to be this little pink button right here. And with Eddy's podcast promo pack, you would be able to actually get all the captions that you would need in a highly branded assets that are targeted and unique to your actual podcast. So you can see Eddy will go ahead, it'll give you keywords, episode art, show notes, social captions, quotes, references, newsletters, blog posts, all sorts of things, all just for creating a 60-second clip of your podcast. That's pretty cool. It will definitely save you a lot of time, and you can also kind of extend the life of your podcast as well. So especially if you have kind of those 10 different clips and say, oh my gosh, you fell in love with all of those clips, amazing. You would just be able to go into Eddy, and then you have all sorts of these wonderful AI generated captions that you could pick and choose from, and say you don't really like them. That's totally cool. You can adjust them if you have a pro account, so you can make them shorter, longer, keep them the same, change the tone, and then, also kind of change the formality levels a little bit, making it neutral, casual, tone, direct, empathetic, witty, all sorts of things. And then you can just regenerate them and pick and choose them as you like. But anyways, that is exactly how you would go about creating a totally branded kind of podcast presence and also some subsequent assets here on the web using Headliner. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to either email us. You can do so by emailing us at support@headliner.app, dropping a comment down below, or just reaching out anywhere on the web that you see headliner.app. And as always, thank you all so much for your time and happy podcasting.